Walking yesterday in the yard, and the grass is crackling underneath your feet, and I see cracks in the ground.
It's getting to the time of year when it usually starts to go dormant anyway, but that's usually because temperatures have reached down to near freezing. Our average date in Nashville for the first freeze is October 28th, 29th, somewhere in late October. We're already past that. The record for the latest first freeze is November 27th.
You think we'll make it?
It's possible. I was looking at some of the way out there data yesterday. It comes out once a week, and some of the long range stuff is at least hinting at that. But long range, computer model data is basically the computer equivalent of a shrug. So
just guessing.
We'll wait and see. We know it's warm right now, and it's going to remain warm. That heart of the heat wave just directly over us for one more day. Temperatures topping out 15 to 20 degrees above average, forecasting a high in Nashville of 85 degrees, and that would be good enough to break the record of 83 degrees set in 1982, and more record or near record high temperatures across the South. 89 degrees in Meridian, Mississippi, almost 90 degrees in early November. That's unusual even as you head that far to the south. Looking outside so far this morning, we're not seeing anything in terms of reduced visibilities. Temperatures are just too warm for any fog to develop, so looking good, just dark. Temperatures are starting off in the 50s and 60s. Dew points are in the 40s. Those numbers need to be much closer together for any fog to develop. Still dark and early. We've got about an hour and 50 minutes until the sun peaks over the horizon. One more camera to look at towards downtown Nashville. Yep, looking good so far. Let's take a look at the forewarned live radar and all the National Weather Service radars around us. There's no rain on the eastern side of the Mississippi River. There are some showers showing up in Missouri, Arkansas, and Louisiana. Some of the cloud cover associated with that will drift overhead today. The actual showers will not. We're going to have to wait about another 36 hours, maybe a little bit less than that, before our next chance of rain arrives, and it's not going to amount to much. Don't get your hopes up. Temperatures right now, 50s and 60s. 52 degrees in Tullahoma is still the cool spot. There are a bunch of locations in the mid to upper 50s. 54 in McMinnville, 58 Murfreesboro, 56 degrees in Clarksville. Plenty of spots still in the 60s, 63 in Nashville, 65 in Cookeville, and 67 is still our warm spot right now in Burkesville, Kentucky. Temperatures are going to warm up as we head through the day, upper 60s by 9 a.m. Average high is 66. We'll be past that already 2 hours after the sun comes up. 80 degrees by noon, 85 for a high this afternoon, and that breaks the record of 83 degrees, again set back in 1982 and also back in 1961. Still in the upper 70s by 6 o'clock this evening. Tomorrow isn't going to be quite as warm. I still think we're going to make it up into the upper 70s. Futurecast shows the cloud cover drifting through today. That's why we're not going to be quite as warm as yesterday, but still more than enough sunshine along with that southwesterly wind to warm us up to the mid 80s. Here's our chance of rain approaching us from the northwest by tomorrow morning. Looks okay on Futurecast radar simulation, but watch what happens to this as we head towards midday. Tomorrow it just falls apart as it tries to move into the dry air over the midstate. Doesn't mean we're done. We're going to see enough of a squeeze in the atmosphere overhead to produce a few showers as we head into the afternoon and early evening. But these showers are going to be brief. They're going to be very light. It's certainly not going to be a drought-busting rainfall. In fact, your odds of actually picking up any measurable rain, more than a trace of rainfall, less than 50-50. But it's the best chance of rain we have in the whole 7-day forecast. We dry it out again as we head towards the weekend. So cooperative weather for any weekend plans, but we just really need some rain. We're about 5 inches below average on the year. Other parts of the mid-state even farther below average than that. Upper 60s on Friday, back up to the low 70s on Saturday and Sunday. Maybe an isolated shower on Election Day, but it should not interfere with your plans if you're heading out on Election Day itself instead of early voting.
All right, Paul.